because of the severity of the violence that was used on my brain as a child. I've often literally struggled with neuroplastic amnesia. The issue of semiotics, structuralism in neurology comes up in a book about cinema that I've been reading, which shows, I think, the cunning of the operation that laid me low as a child. I only know about the intellectuals in Pittsburgh and Seattle. Otherwise, I know about books. The Pittsburgh intellectuals cannot keep up with Israel and do not know when to be alarmed. When I was a child, they kidnapped, tortured, and gassed me. And this was clearly a metaphorical framework. They came from the office of Shapiro, Milton Shapiro. Tav would say, "Why don't you just die to me?" He was an Israeli whose father was an advisor to Milton Shap, who showed up at my father's deathbed. Strange that. And he attacked me very brutally one day out of the clear blue sky for no reason whatsoever. Felled me with terrible blows. And I was being groomed by a mother who swore by the peace movement. My father, however, was divorced from my mother, and so his history was not being tutored, lectured to me anymore. I learned about the World War II situation while they were still married when I was 6 years old. So I didn't realize that I was, to the Israelis in the governor's office, something the King Saul of America. This was not my doing. There's no reason to get out your pitchforks, which I know your Fetterman crowd of Yoko Ono's contraption at the University of Pittsburgh like nothing better than to get out their pitchforks and their torches and say, Crary thinks he's better than us. No, it was something they identified because we were pilgrims, pioneers, served in the Revolution. Crary is a very old, distinguished name. My father was a lieutenant on Bush's ship in the Navy. And of course, Jimmy C was like Jimmy Carter, James Crary, James McRyland Crary. You know me as Mac. One of the things we know is that they attack children. And it's not just the children of they can get away with attacking because they're impoverished and stereotyped wrongly in Gaza. But they attack the children of American society as well. They attacked me horribly, blindside, kidnapped, tortured, and gassed me, used the nerve agent on me, and manipulated me psychosexually from that point on, to the derision of Yoko Ono's Fetterman crowd. Where that led is so god-awful that nobody's willing to talk about it. They don't know when to be alarmed. They can't keep up with the intellectualism of the Israelis. The intellectualism is so deranged and malicious that it disappears in the minds of Pennsylvanians who don't want to follow it where it's leading. They just want to be told what to do next by the Zionist mafia. When we saw some of the mysterious things that were happening in places like Maui, we saw the police set up a roadblock and send the residents who were fleeing the fires back into the fire, turned them around and sent them back into the fires. Remember Uvalde? That's a pun, right? You have all day. They gave the man all day to murder children. This is a strategic hamlet that has been set up by the minions of this very bizarre tyrant, Tomb on high, who has taken over the headquarters of the United States decision-making and financial networks with the help of Nosferatu. Nosferatu's favorite Watton maker. You think that they're not encrypting those names. His nom de guerre is rotten maker. We have a rotten maker, right? That's the sort of thing the Israelis would come up with after World War II. Watton maker took me to the incredible two-headed transplant, which has a criminal head put on a moron, and he says, now I've got to teach this moron how to walk. I shouldn't say moron, I mean learning disabled individual. And so they stunted my brain. You could see the neuroplasm they used. It was invisible for years and years. When they sent in the Hottie, she targeted the neuroplasm with lurid searching eyes. It detonated it. And this is what the British call being our allies. Cunningly cloaking the dagger of the good old Israeli backstab. It's mind-shattering to think that America is in the hands of people who won't even look into the meaning of this outrage.